Hey everybody, this is shot the Bolano again. Just finishing getting everything set right up. Making sure I got you guys all situated. Welcome to episode number 18 of Let's Talk. I'm trying to change things up a little bit so that way I can communicate with you guys. Mr. Agudello is on his way. He will be here in a few moments, but I'm going to get the ball rolling by letting you guys know what's going on. Let's see. Boom. And I am right there. So, as you already know, Jonathan Bolano Home over at Keller Williams. Jonathan Agudelo is going to be joining us in a few moments. Want to make sure we stuck to that 6 p.m. He's actually watching us right now. How we doing, Mr. Agudelo? It's nice for you to join us. He probably can't type because he's driving. But episode number 18, I want to welcome you guys. These are things that we plan on definitely doing going forward. We found out from a lot of you that this has been really helpful. It's been really educational. Although this hasn't been as interactive as we would have hoped, I think that the aftermath of you guys watching after the video has been recorded has been really helpful and really valuable to you guys, or invaluable to you guys, from some of the feedback that we've been getting. So Mr. Agudelo said he's on his way and he'll be here in 3 minutes, but we already know that. So everybody drop your comments below and say, Mr. Agudelo, get over there. Stop leaving Mr. Bolano high and dry. Anyways, so yeah, episode number 18. We're going to be talking about communication today to start off. Communication with your realtor, with your loan officer, and we're going to jump through a few other things as well. Mr. Agudelo has a few ideas that he wants to get into, so I'm going to let him kind of talk on those when he gets here, and we're just going to like roll from there. Things over here have been pretty busy. We've been having a lot of sales, as you guys have been seeing. Agudelo has also been pretty busy for you guys that have been following him along as well. For those of you that are on our page right now and watching, you can see his page at Jonathan Agudelo MLO. He has a Facebook page. Check that out and see what deals he's got going on, see what he's got cooking. Let's see, what else is there? The most important thing, you guys out there that are watching on a religious basis, coming back and checking out the videos, I mean, we appreciate you guys more than anything. And if you fit that suit, that you've been watching all of our videos, kind of paying attention, and you like what we bring out, like the value that we provide you guys, then go ahead and share these videos and tag your friends, tag your family members, and let them know that we're here trying to help out everybody and trying to give back to the community. So that way, when you hit the market, to whether you want to buy or you want to sell, you or whoever you are tagging, whoever it is that you tag, has the knowledge that they need in order to get started in the situation or in the process. Understanding how the real estate market works is extremely invaluable as well, because you don't just walk through this kind of blindly, the hands out, just like Thriller status, and you go in knowing a thing or two, so that way you can make logical decisions, you can make intuitive decisions, you can make the right decisions for you and your family in purchasing your first home, second home, selling, so on and so forth, or if you're just trying to get into investment properties. So this is here for you guys, and if you guys want, you share, you tag, and by sharing, now that I went off topic, you get one entry into a raffle for the $250 Amazon gift card. If you tag somebody, you get 2 entries. Once again, that's 1 share equals 1 entry, tag equals 2 entries into the raffle. And that raffle is going to happen on January 3rd. And so what you guys can do with that is, from our episode 10 video up until whatever episode that we land right before January 3rd, all those are up for game, that you can share and tag, and we're going to track all those ourselves, and we're going to write down all your names, and we're going to put that into a nice big raffle, so that way we can see who wins, and then we're going to have to get your address, email address, whatever, so that we can get this stuff shipped out to you. Let's see. So, jumping into this, communication with your realtor or loan officer. It's one of the most valuable things that can be out there. So what does the real communication means? It's the conversation and the open conversation, the open dialogue between you and whoever it is that you're discussing things with. And so from a realtor standpoint, what this means is, let's say, like availability, and just communicating with your realtor, like, when am I going to be available? Like, let's say next month, let's say we start working together right now, and next month you plan on leaving for Bora Bora. Let's think big right now. And you're going to be there for the second and third week. So if we find you a property within the next couple of weeks that you want to purchase, and you know that you're going to be in Bora Bora, then we can work the entire transaction to work around that scenario. So that way you don't get locked up by the law or anything. And if it ends up being a thing where you feel comfortable with having someone sign things over legally, so that way someone has like power of attorney for you, then that's good too. But it's something that you want to communicate with both the loan officer and your realtor, so that way we can work this entire transaction around your timeline and make sure that you don't end up being put in jeopardy of doing anything that kind of hurts with how the law has us run everything. Trying to keep everything really high level for you guys, because I like to keep the down low, the in detail stuff for when we're in person. Keep these videos nice and short. So what else does that mean? So let's say you have a sickness in the family and it comes up last minute. Don't just up and disappear. Say, hey, my dad got sick. He fell down a flight of stairs or whatever, and Mr. Agudelo's here. My dog just got freaked out. And let them know what's going on. So that way, hey, we can communicate this with the other realtor, let them know that people aren't just disappearing and that we can keep the transaction rolling. We just have to be understanding of what's going on. You don't want to listen to the video while I'm doing the video. Say hello to Mr. Agudelo.
What's going on, everybody? I'll be right on camera.
So, let's see. Yeah, you pulled me off.
Sorry, man.
So, oh, he's getting himself a drink right now. Let's give him a second. It's professional. I'll take that for you. I keep it in my nice little oh, no, forget it. Yeah. Come and join us over here. We miss you. I got the whole setup going on.
How's everybody doing? I was watching in the car. I realized how much of a delay there is, though, because I'm walking in listening and I can actually hear what he was saying.
Like 3 seconds beforehand.
Yeah.
I haven't even taken a sip yet.
You were waiting on me.
Yeah, I was trying, but now you're here. So anyways, that's what's going on with the communication side of working with a realtor. What are the things that we're thinking about? Communicating with your realtor, what kind of earnest money deposit you're comfortable with. What is an earnest money deposit? It's the deposit that you put down on a property when, oh, now you're shaking me around.
I'm sorry.
That's unacceptable.
You know Rhode Island's known for earthquakes.
$250, no way. Mr. Agudelo's funny. You can see it in the comments below.
Alrighty, hello everybody.
Welcome.
Sorry, I apologize. Unpacking and cooking and all that stuff.
What are you unpacking
family? From moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you helped me move, you know.
Yes, I did, right? But they didn't know.
Yeah, they did not.
And they're just as important.
Yes, special. I want to say thank you on camera, so everybody knows. Thank you, Mr. Bolano, for helping me with the move. Also, Mr. DuPont.
Yeah, he had to call in the big guns.
Yeah, that's what I called Brandon for. And then Bolano also helped. So I'm not gonna waste too much of anybody's time or whatever.
How did the move go? Good?
Yeah, it was good.
You guys all situated now?
Yeah, we're just, we got all the big stuff situated where it needs to be. Now it's just little things. Oh, where's this thing? Where's this small thing? We just
moving so
go
much
as
fun.
we go. Yeah.
But see, because of the packing part and the putting stuff away, that's why our tagline is everything but the packing. Because we leave all the real fun, the real juicy stuff for all you guys out there.
Oh yeah, it's exciting. So that being said,
so what I've got,
I was listening to Mr. Bolano on the way here. Only listening. I was driving, so But yeah, he was mentioning communication between the realtor and the and you guys.
And so just to throw in a couple of things, I talked about availability. So letting us know like vacation times that they have planned.
Yeah, that's what I heard when I was coming
in.
And
then also if like someone becomes sick in the family during the middle of a transaction, kind of communicating that as well.
Correct. And those are really good points. And it's everything he said is true. It's crucial to the loan, to the deal, to know what to expect. It's kind of it's kind of anticipating it, you know.
Correct. We want to be proactive versus reactive.
Correct. And one of the other things is along those lines. A lot of people don't think of this because I don't know for whatever reason, but can give you a specific example is somebody getting hurt on the job and collecting TDI. Even if you're expecting to only collect it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we need to know. It's very important because that's going to change. Depending on what happens, it can change how this loan goes.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a case where a client was in a car accident, or not. You know, he was a truck driver. He crashed in his truck. He lost. You know, he wasn't able to work for a while. Was on TDI, but he hadn't expected. From my understanding, he was going to be going back to that job. So, you know, there's preparation that you take for it. He failed to communicate to me that he was actually going to be suing the company. So clearly, he's not going to get the job back. So the deal died right there. But I worked on this deal for an extra 3 weeks, trying to situate everything, meeting up with him, getting what I needed from him. I mean, we were getting ready to have the appraisal done and the whole nine, and then I found out that, and that was because I asked for more pay stubs. I asked for more recent pay stubs, and the answer I got was like, oh, all I have is this letter saying this is what I'm getting from TDI.
Right.
So it's one of those things, even if you think, like, so if you think something's going to kill a deal, I think it's better to say it up front.
Right.
Which kind of goes on to our next topic.
Right.
Which is, you know, how communication helps you navigate around these obstacles. These hurdles, let's say.
Because if we can get these early up
Correct.
on enough, then we can put in all the right verbiage and get all the right documents out in advance. Because there are other things outside of these that just require new documents, require a change of tactics.
Correct.
And if we get that all up front, then we can make things a lot more painless.
Correct.
So that way the seller does, or let's say you're a buyer, sellers can get aggravated sometimes.
Yep.
Because they feel like things are bouncing all over the place, and if we have that all down in front, then we can make the transaction move through very, very smoothly.
Correct. And there's ways to navigate around every problem, every hiccup, every situation that may arise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say navigate around. Navigate around it might be completely kill that loan and go at it from a different program. So I don't mean navigate around like try to do something you shouldn't do. Just along the lines of
like
different options.
FHA to a conventional.
Correct.
Like we just did.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, it's very important for borrowers to be very, very clear with what they know. So if you know for a fact, for example, you know there's a foreclosure on your credit history, and when I pull up the credit report, it's not coming up yet. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you look good, blah blah, and you know you just had a foreclosure last year. You need to explain that. If you may think at the moment pleasantly surprised, like, oh, it's not showing up. Yeah, it's great, but it's gonna come out, and I'd rather know up front and see what exceptions we can get for you, see how we can make it happen, or if not, set a realistic timeline to make it happen, as opposed to being a month away from the closing, or 2 weeks away from the closing, or 3 weeks away from the closing, whatever, or next week is the closing, and come to find out, that comes up, oh, they were doing a title search, or they were doing they were doing that, and it shows, this person owes money over here. They run the credit, but then they rerun it again. They do another soft pull before you close, and a lot of people don't know that. So it's little things like that. It's one of those things that you don't want to say like, hey, don't lie to us, but at the same time you kind of want to, because we don't want to
be forward with the information.
We don't want to tell our borrowers or lead anyone to think that the people we work with lie to us or are liars or are dishonest or whatever. But at the same time, it is just saying, please don't do that, because it's only going to hurt you.
Right, and you waste your time. I mean, you waste everybody's time at that point. And you don't want to waste.
At the end of the day, yes, it's a. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
It's a waste of time for the realtor, the buyer, the loan officer, everybody else. But even that doesn't matter as much as the fact of you're falling in love with this property. You're ready. You're once you're in the process, you're starting to like imagine yourself. Oh, this is what I'm going to do with this room. This is what I'm going to do with that room, and then, because of something that you may have been able to let us know up front, if it dies after that, it's just it's so much worse because you
just put your whole heart and your whole soul into this.
Yeah, because even if we find a way to navigate around it, now we have to see if the seller is going to wait for an extension, because now it's going to take longer. Which, if we know up front, we can navigate it from the beginning.
Right.
So it's very important to it's a very important piece of communication is disclosing everything that you think may affect your ability to purchase the property.
Right. Right. No, that's perfect.
I'm sorry, I just went off. I came late and just was blah, 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 blah.
No, that's all good stuff. And I think that's really useful for a lot of the buyers out there, because a lot of things that we hear from the market and a lot of things that we've seen ourselves is people think that this stuff, like you said, is not going to show up. If it didn't show up right then, maybe I can sneak it up for another 2 months and then life will be good. Like, I can handle the loan, but then all of a sudden it sneaks up a little bit earlier, and then we get hit with these surprise things. So settlements, where people are going to use settlements for down payments for EMPs.
Yes. The settlements for a down payment, that's not money in the bank. So when a loan officer, whether it be me, hopefully it's me, but any loan officer you may be dealing with, again, me, tells you how much do you have to put towards the deposit, it's how much do you have now. It's not how much you're expecting on a settlement, especially on a settlement, because I mean, they could, yeah, I've had people tell me, oh yeah, next week I'm receiving a check for a settlement, and then 3 months later they still haven't gotten it.
6 years later.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so
it's next month.
It's really, I mean, I'm waiting on one right now from a car accident, you know?
Right.
So it's one of those things.
Unless it's in your hands, it's not real.
Yeah. For a loan, unless it's in your account, it's not real.
Bang. Bang.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. So if you have a 401k, it's not in your bank account, but it's, in your 401k, that's fine.
Yes.
You have it in, you have something that like, oh, I only have $500 now, but I got a commission check for $5,000 coming next week. That's different. That's coming from your employer, from somewhere solid, even tax time coming around the corner. There's ways to kind of gauge when that's going to come in. Like, there's not an exact date. Like, you're never going to be exactly there. Sometimes you are. You get lucky and I'm expecting it this day, and it comes that day. But at least we have an idea. If we're off by a week, hey, not the end of the world. Settlements is tough. It's really, really tough with settlements because, again, there's nothing in anybody's control. None of us can do anything about it. And if you're counting on that money, solely that money, or the majority of the money you're using coming from there, it's better off to just wait.
Right.
Excuse me. It's better off to just wait till that comes in, and we'll start the process then. We can get everything cleared out of the way, all that other stuff, but we're not going to really, put an offer on a house or anything like that until you have that settlement in, if that's what you need.
Right.
Again, you said it triggered, so
no,
sorry to go off on that.
So a lot of this is also important for, it's very important for the loan officer, for one, because everything that this loan officer gets is what's going to get derived over to your realtor. Now, not all your financial stuff and whatnot, but when the loan officer says, hey, I got this person pre-approved, they're ready to go. What that means to a realtor is their down payment's ready, their earnest money deposit's ready, they got their mortgage ready for the next couple of months. So, like, their bank accounts are ready. We don't know what those numbers are, but we know they're ready. And when we start looking at properties and such, we go with that anticipation. And so we make this assumption that they've done their due diligence to give us the client pre-approved and ready to go. We work with you with that anticipation too. So when these kind of things pop up last minute, the realtor's really caught blindsided because we don't get to see your numbers. We don't get to see your accounts because legally we don't have a right to, and I don't want to personally. But we're working from the assumption that everything is good to go. And so when you start making adjustments even afterwards, and we've done other videos where we said how to manage your money during the transaction process.
Correct.
Those are the types of things that you're going to want to pay attention to, so that way the transaction really goes through smoothly. And one of the things that we do, so a lot of realtors do this, but they do it up verbally and such. We'd like to attack this from a video standpoint and also an in-person standpoint. So this is like almost a double whammy for you guys, where we say on video, this is how you manage your money. This is what you want to focus on. These are the things that are important during the real estate transaction. That's how you stay ready, and that's how you stay good to go, so that way the transaction stays smooth. Then we work with you in person. We run through all the same exact thing. This is what you need to do. This is how you manage your money. This is what needs to happen in order to keep the transaction nice and smooth.
Correct. Yeah, because once we're in person with you, it's really not that different from what we're saying here. Difference might be now it's more detail oriented. Now it's specifically
to you.
Yeah, it's the word I'm trying to think of, but it's meant specifically for you. This is exactly based on what your needs are, what your situation is, what your income is, and the list goes on. Also, along those lines of what Mr. Bolano here was saying is, as the realtor is truly basically blind in it, they hear from the loan officer, myself, whatever, if either A, we're missing something that we need them to get us, B, we're hitting them up to say, hey, we got to clear to close, or we should be clear to close next week, or we should be clear to close this day, or C, which is the one they don't want to hear, hey, we have a problem, we're going to need you to get an extension, this and this and this popped up, and then if they're caught with that one last minute, it's something, especially with something that you can prevent, it's really just, they have to go, and now they go, and that's what they do, they battle for you. So they'll go to the seller, to the listing agent, and say, hey, this came up, this and that, and they have to smooth it over, and that's their job. They just try to smooth it over and make it as understandable as possible for the seller, and hopefully they continue on, and we'll extend or whatever needs to happen. But it's one of those things. It's really, it blindsides not only you, not only the seller, but your own agent that's trying to help you out as well. So it's very, very, very important that you do inform us of anything that you think may be a problem.
I gotta cut you off for this one. Now it's my turn. And that's also really important for the agent, because we're the ones we're the ones coaching you into how to negotiate, into how, kind of what decisions to make, and to keep you from making a bad decision. And so if we go with this pot of information and pot A right here, and everything's kosher here, then we're coaching you and helping you through the transaction with just this in mind. That ends up being our game tactic. But all of a sudden, if you start entering all these kinds of gotchas, well, now you're changing up around the whole game plan and how we proceed in getting this to a closing table, and helping you through the negotiations with the seller. Because once again, and this is kind of offset, when you hit the negotiation table, it's a negotiation. This isn't an I win only. This is not a seller win only. It's a negotiation, which means both people got to give some and to lose some, and so on and so forth. So anyways, we can't coach you through that if we don't know the full picture. And the loan officer can't give us the right information if they don't have the picture. But to pull away this from you guys, because this isn't just about you guys learning how to communicate and communicating properly with your loan officer and the real estate agent, but it's also very important for you to find real estate agent and a loan officer that communicate well as well.
Correct.
And what does that mean? It means that they communicate with other people seamlessly. They are available 24/7. That's one thing that I found to be very important for me, even as a realtor, when I contact some people and I can't get responses for 3 days from some agents. Now, if you contact me, chances are you're going to get a message within an hour to 3 max, because I got a family, I got kids, but you get it within a 24-hour standpoint, and much sooner than that. Jonathan Agudelo, same exact thing. And those are the kinds of things that you want to focus on. Do they work nights? Do they work weekends? Are they just a weekend warrior? Does that work for your schedule? Is that okay with you? Because if it is, then life's all good. But if it's not, these are the things that you want to keep focused on. Then in addition to that, does the real estate agent work well with the loan officer too?
Correct.
Because that communication and how they operate is also what's going to help you move through the transaction. Add on to that, this agent's going to be communicating with the seller's agent. Now, if you have someone that's very argumentative, that is one way only, you start realizing a lot of stuff that happens. So these are things that you want to, I think, you want to prioritize when getting into the transaction process, when you're getting into buying or even selling a home. Who am I working with, and do they make a good team? Do they fit with me? Are they the people that can coach me through this? Do they have the I mean, we're not psychologists here, but transactions can get tough sometimes.
Yeah.
And is this someone I trust to give me good advice and help me through this? Because you're going to get nervous, you're going to get scared, you're going to get upset at times. And if you have a realtor or you have somebody that's on your side that's got a negative personality that's always wearing it down, you're never going to get through it. And it's going to make it miserable. But if you've got someone that's like, listen, good news, honestly, and helping you out through it, then it makes the transaction a whole lot more seamless.
And speaking on that, I always like to give you guys examples with clients that I've dealt with. I won't ever say their names and any of that stuff. But I had a client that was freaking out because they were hearing just, and I don't want to make this sound negative or derogatory or bad or anything in any way, because everybody tries to help you when you're trying to buy a home. Family members that have purchased, or haven't purchased. They've heard stuff. This is how it goes. This is what you do. So she was getting advice from friends, family members, about do this, don't do this. Oh, this shouldn't be happening this way. This should be this way. This should be that way. But they don't really know the full scope of what's going on. They're not a loan officer, a real estate agent, a title attorney, or any of those things.
Right.
It's people that they're going based on their own experience or what they've heard or sometimes what they think they've heard. Sometimes you hear parts of a conversation and you hear that main point, but you don't understand what's going beyond it. So anyways, this client was freaking out and basically was like, you know what? I was told this and this and this and this is supposed to happen. If XYZ doesn't happen by this date, I'm taking legal action. Gave her a call. I said, hey, what's going on? Explain to me what's the situation. Oh, my friend told me this and this and this, this and this and this and this and that. So I broke it down. I explained it to her. I didn't get mad. I wasn't like, oh, go ahead, blah, blah, blah. Or why would you talk to me like that? I just calmly spoke to her. And as we were talking, I could hear it in her voice. She was just stressed because she's hearing all this stuff. So I'm just talking to her and I'm like, hey, listen, this is how it goes. This is the process. This is going to happen by this date. If it doesn't, it's because XYZ. This is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then, just kind of kept it going and had the conversation. And by the end of the phone call, she was thanking me. She was explaining to me how stressed out she was because of what happened. I mean, I'm no psychologist. I'm no whatever by any means. But she needed somebody to listen to her. She was freaking out. She didn't need somebody to come back and say, freak out towards her, like, hey, I don't need this, blah, 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 and boom, that's it. She needed somebody that was going to be like, all right, yeah, nobody likes to hear that stuff. Nobody likes to hear the stuff she said to me. But I explained to her, I told her what was going on, and from there on, it ended up being like another 2 weeks before we closed, something like that. From there on, it was smooth sailing. Whenever she had any doubts, she would call me. She would shoot me a text. I would explain it to her, and she was no longer, taking what her friend was telling her for gospel. Her friend was just trying to help, and from what she understood, excuse me, from what she understood, things were supposed to go a certain way, and she was just trying to help a friend. Most of us would do that anyway. If you think, oh, I heard somewhere that this is what you're supposed to do, and you think your friend may be affected by it, what are you going to do? You're going to do that. You're going to say it. So, I didn't take it as any, like a personal dig, any kind of insult or anything like that. But it's one of those things, like Jonathan was saying, if you don't have that communication, if I would have freaked out on her, because I got angry, but took a breath, calmed down, and was like, all right, let's see what happens, And it's one of those things, that's what you really want to look for. And I'm not saying it just because it was me. There's plenty of loan officers that would react the same way, maybe even better, but that's what you need to do. It's find somebody that you're like, all right, if I have a problem, even if I'm a little agitated and I go off a little bit, is this person going to be like, oh, whoa, and get defensive? Or are they going to
coach you through it?
Are they going to, they're going to talk to you and give you the service you deserve, the assistance you need, or just the understanding you need of what's going on.
I think a big thing about it is customer service, like you were kind of getting into, and the empathy that these people kind of have for one another. Like your realtor, are they going to be empathetic to your scenario and you being a first-time home buyer? Or are they somebody that, not saying that all seasoned people are like this, but are they going to be someone that's already, even after like 2 transactions, already like seasoned, or what's the word I'm looking for? They're jaded because of the entire real estate.
Had a few different experiences and think, every time it starts like this is how it's going to be. Yeah.
You want somebody that's going to constantly just say, listen, I understand what you're going through, and I'm here for you, and I'm going to help you out through this, and you're not alone. And this has happened before. I've watched it happen before, but this is what's coming up next, and this is where the teacher comes in. This is what's going to happen next. This is what to expect. These are the documents you're going to sign. This is what's left. And then boom, that stuff kind of happens. Remember, nothing happens as stated. Things kind of...
Yeah, there's always going to be... Like, as he was listening, this is going to happen like this. All I was thinking in my head is, yes, that's true. And then, at the same time, this is supposed to happen like this. If scenario A happens, this is how we're going to navigate it.
Yeah.
If scenario B happens, this is how we're going to navigate it.
The spider web. You start in the center, and then, depending on decisions,
correct.
And then they all branch off.
Correct. And that's that's
philosophical.
That's what you want to do. That's what you want. That's what you want to do when you're in a situation like this. And I want to really, really, really press the issue of, just because you hear something negative about the process, like you're at a point where one of us calls you and says, "Hey, we have a bit of a problem," doesn't mean the deal's dead. Doesn't mean all is lost. It just means it's a hurdle. We're just gonna have to get over it.
Yeah.
There's some things that the deal won't survive. Fine, that's true. But we will exhaust every single option to get it done. As long as it's legally something we can do, we will get it done for you and get you to the closing table.
Right.
Excuse
I
me.
think that was pretty informative for a lot of the first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
A little bit on the scary side too.
Yeah, and it's
That got a little morbid right there, but that's not to scare you guys away, and that's not to make you guys feel some type
and
of
it's
way.
not like a reprimand kind of thing either. Like, oh, if you don't do this,
No, it's just
it's just
things to be aware of and understanding of where when you're able to when you're looking for people. I mean, you got people here that are sitting here trying to communicate all these things with you, and we're pretty passionate about it, which is probably why we go off on our tangents.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's something that I would look for. I think that that's important for me. Someone that I can communicate with, someone that's gonna be understanding, someone that's going to listen, someone that's going to fight for me and not be jaded with me if I me as even a customer. If I go to a restaurant, sometimes I get flustered, and I was a waiter for 11 years.
Yeah.
And even with that, I like when a waiter comes over. It's just like, don't worry, I got this.
Yeah.
And they take care of something, or whatever. And it's like it triggers you back. But what we're trying to get at is focus on getting people and focus on yourself with the communicating aspect of the real estate transaction, because in all actuality, real estate and transactions, I'm gonna probably get scolded for this, but my understanding of it is it's easy. All of this is easy as long as the communication is open. This is seamless. I mean, we're
and
talking
by easy. By easy, it's not easy as in like, oh, it's just sign once, you're good to go, blah blah.
Right.
It's easy in the sense of, if we know what to ask for,
right,
what to do, and you get us that in a timely manner, and we get that, we do what we have to do with it in a timely manner, and communicate the whole way. If anything is missing, if anything that needs to be taken care of, added on, whatever, in a timely fashion, we prioritize it that way,
we can take care of
it. That's easy. It's literally just, basically whenever we call you, it's to clarify something. Hey, I saw on your pay stub it showed that you only worked 32 hours, and then you had 8 holiday hours. You normally work 40 hours, right? Yes. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Just wanted to make sure it was only because of the holiday. Boom. The end. So, stuff like that. The answer might be no. I usually work 32, but that for the holiday that week, I worked my 32, and since blah blah blah, I got the other 8 hours. Whatever. So it's good. It still goes back to the same thing. It's the communication, and that's what makes it the easiest. Communication makes this the easiest it could be. That's what it is. So
I'm gonna throw at you our big one that just happened, just closed. I think it was last Friday, and it got a little sticky in the middle, but because of how good the communication was here, I think that transaction went stupid smooth. And it was the one that we spoke about last week, where Agudelo got someone pre-approved for both an FHA and conventional loan in a matter of 30 days. A little over 30 days, where he got the entire transaction through. But with our buyers, every time that we needed to talk to them or they had questions, we came back with answers, whether it was Agudelo or myself, or even Lisette.
And they helped the buyer themselves helped the situation, because when we needed something, it was like this.
Yes.
And they were working just as hard as we were.
Yeah.
They were at their jobs and doing their thing, and I would shoot a text, hey, give me a call when you get a chance. I need to ask you a question about this or that. It might take 15 minutes, might take 5 minutes, but they would call. Oh, hey, I was with a client. I'm sorry. Well, what did you need to know, Jonathan? And then boom, that's it, and we would get what we needed. So it was very as much as hard as we worked, they did as well, which made it easy for all of us.
Right.
So it was seamless making that transition from the FHA to conventional. It was seamless getting it to the table at that point, because it was just and there was stuff that came up along the way that wasn't just that. It was just like, oh, this needs to be this way, this needs to be that way, boom, boom, boom. But it was so easy because that communication was there.
And we can throw in there too that the seller's agent,
oh yeah,
she was awesome
great
as well.
Absolutely.
When we asked her for something or we needed something, she was another piece to John's puzzle over here when he was trying to work on the loan and such. Them two got together. Like, we're talking you see the team right here. It's not just your buyer's agent and the loan officer. We're all working together to try to help the buyer
attorney,
or the
seller's
seller out.
agent, the sellers themselves. If they're trying to get this property off their hands and get some money. So everybody has the same goal. So
Right.
and if we attack it that way, which is what happened in this case, it was just it was easy to overcome those hurdles.
And so there was like none of that hostility type of stuff. There was none of the bad blood. It was just nice and smooth. It's like, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? What can we do to help? And so the seller's agent came through and she did her part, and we got that thing closed in just over 30 days, which is...
Yeah, it was like 33 days, something like that, right?
Which, I mean, usually it's that long just for one loan, one style loan, never mind
switching it midway or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and it was... And again, I mean, part of why I feel like I can do that well, and
it's because of where you
it's because of where I am, man. That team is awesome.
Yeah,
my team is awesome. So if anybody from my team is watching, you guys are great. My LOA, Erica, and the processor over there, excuse me,
Sheesh.
Crystal.
I guess you can't handle tiny anymore.
Yeah, they were great as well. So absolutely, yeah. It's great to have that team, and it really is a whole complete team that works together on it. So, and as a borrower, you are part of that team. So you might just as easy as it may be in your mind to be like, all right, they know what they're doing now. Let's back. That communication is very
I think that's
key.
a cool thing to add as well. If we're talking about communication, I think that this video is going to just be a communication video. I'm going to change the name of it and everything. But, I mean, the loan officer and who they have on their side. Do they have the underwriter in their facility? Do they have people there that can help out? How many people? I mean, how much of a team is that? And then also for the realtor, it's just like, we work with a agency, Keller Williams from Lincoln. We have just under 200 agents in that office alone. And we have a lot of experience there too, so that way, like, if I've gone through something and someone else hasn't, they can come to me, which happens more frequently than not, and they say, hey, how does this go? What would you do here? How does this look? How do you run this CMA? How would you do this? Or if I have questions for something that I'm not familiar with, I have a nice network of people that I can work with and are forthcoming with information. So, I mean, team communication, it's big, it's important. I think we've kind of beat that horse on that one.
Yeah.
That horse.
Yeah. It's. I'll end it with this. It's like in anything where there's any kind of team, sports, jobs, any kind of programs, associations, anything that people come together to build a community or anything like that. Communication is number one. If you're not all on the same page, then you're not really a team. You're just a bunch of people trying to do separate things. So it's good. It's great to find a team that will work seamlessly like that, and will bring you in seamlessly, because you will, for the transaction, you're part of that team. You're working that deal as well. So
I think that sums that one up.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's a full video on communication right there.
Yeah.
I was going to branch into other things, but I think this kind of sums it up. I think we just hit the 40-minute marker.
And if anybody has any questions, anybody has any insight,
even if you're watching this after it's live,
correct, make sure to comment, let us know, shoot us a message, give me a call, shoot me a text, 401-365-7161.
401-612-3755.
Yeah, we're always available to help you out. If if we can't pick up the phone, I know I can speak for him as well. The minute you are available, we'll shoot a text or give you a call and let you know, hey, sorry for the delay. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And we'll just go from there. But yeah, and share this video,
we'll hit
guys.
this again. Amazon gift card, $250. One share equals one entry into a raffle for it. One tag equals 2 entries for that raffle as well. So you guys just increase your chances. You can do it as many times per video. Anything from episode number 10 to the last video the week before January 3rd or the week of January 3rd, because I think the 3rd is a Thursday. And that following Wednesday from the 3rd, we're going to let you guys know who won that raffle and get that sent out to you. So if you think you won already, you want to start shooting us addresses, then you can start doing that. Other than that, I hope that this is... I've been getting a lot of good feedback. I don't know about you. People have been messaging me about these. I know that we don't get a lot of comments on the video while we're doing it, but that's cool because you guys are watching this afterwards. I'm seeing that it's creating value for you guys, and I love that. We love that. And you guys keep dropping us your comments afterwards. Keep dropping us those inbox messages, and we're here for you guys. We want to help you out no matter what. So,
I agree. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. So share, tag, and I gotta say this. I've seen a bunch of people share, which is great.
Yep.
But I haven't seen many people tagging.
I haven't seen one tag. You get 2 entries.
You get 2 entries to win this $250 gift card by just anyone you tag. So you don't have to tag everybody on your friends list.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, you can. But if you don't want to be that, we all got that person on Facebook that tags everybody and everything. But, I mean, we might have done it a few times of our own. But you can, if you think of somebody that you know is in the process. They want to buy a house. They want to refi. They want to sell a house. Tag them in the video. Worst case scenario, they're not interested. They're all set.
But you still get 2 entries.
You still get your 2 entries, and they move on, and that's it. It's not like if you tag them, that doesn't mean we're gonna reach out to them because you tagged them. It's just for it to reach them, and if they are interested, they'll reach out to us.
I have a feeling that people just don't understand how big $250 is.
Yeah.
I mean, how many $1 bills comes in $250?
I think there's about 250 of them.
Exactly! $250 for an Amazon gift card. You know how many things you can buy with that? Shoot, I would rather just, I would love to win it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just start sharing and tagging.
Well, my wife, Jenny, hopefully she's watching. If she's not, then you should be.
If she's watching, she's watching from yours.
She shared and shared and shared, and she knows, she can't win it. We can't win it. But, if you tag people in there, you're doubling your chances to win it. Like, it's
well, sort of.
Kind of simple. Yeah, you're doubling your chances.
Right.
Instead of that 1 chance, you get 2 chances. So, you're doubling your chances. I'm not saying you're going to win it, but, somebody is. So,
I think that's the sum up.
Yeah. So that's it. Share and tag.
Thank you guys for joining as always.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Sorry I was late, everybody.
Unacceptable.
But next time I'll be on time, I promise.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next Wednesday. Remember to drop your comments and inbox us if you have any questions or if you know somebody looking to buy or sell.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Boom.